Children, in this module, we are going to study The Thief's Story, written by Ruskin Bond. It's a chapter in your Footprints Without Feet, prescribed for class 10 by CBSE. Ruskin Bond is an Indian author of British descent. So he still lives in Missouri, in London, and there he has spent entire of his childhood. The Indian Council of Child Education has recognized his role in the growth of children's literature in India. So he was awarded the Sahitya Academy Award in 1992 for Our Trees Still Growing Dehra and his novel in English. And he was awarded Padma Shri in 1999 and Padma Bhushan in 2014. What he writes, his writings are beautiful and they are so interesting, and especially they intrigue the children readers of all ages. Before we begin the chapter, we need to understand that this chapter is a story of a thief who gets transformed. How does he get transformed? Is because of someone's kindness. We've often heard that kindness binds us to the kind. कि कोई इंसान अगर हमारे साथ अच्छा करता है तो हम उसके साथ जुड़ जाते हैं, हम बाइंड हो जाते हैं उसके साथ. सेकेंडली, पावर ऑफ एजुकेशन एंड द पावर ऑफ फॉरगिवनेस. ये दो बातें और हैं कि एजुकेशन चाहे वो पूरी तरह, इवन इफ वी डोंट हैव इट, इट हैज़ अ पावर, इट कैन चेंज अस. एंड द पावर ऑफ फॉरगिवनेस, वी फॉरगिव समबडी, दैट power of forgiveness can change the other person altogether. These are the three values that we are going to see in this chapter. It's a very interesting story about a thief, a boy, a child thief. So we begin. The child himself is a narrator. So this is a first person narration. The child, the thief, narrates the story and he tells about his life. I was still a thief when I met Anil, and though only 15, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. अब वो छोटा सा बच्चा 15 years old, he is a thief, चोर है, and he अपने आप को he says कि I was experienced and successful hand. अब अगर वो इतना एक्सपीरियंस और सक्सेसफुल होता, यू नो, क्राइम मेक्स यू अ बिट क्रूअल ऑल्सो, यू बिकम अ बिट हार्श ऑल्सो. बट ये जो बच्चा, ही हैज़ अ लॉट ऑफ सेंसिटिविटी. हम आगे जाके देखेंगे कि वो इतना भी एक्सपीरियंस और सक्सेसफुल नहीं है जितना वो बोल रहा है. सो दिस स्टेटमेंट इटसेल्फ इज गोइंग टू बी contradicting himself, contradicting itself, and we'll see how. So you may be asked a question, is he right when he says so? He is not right. We'll come to know in the chapter. अनिल वॉज वॉचिंग अ रेसलिंग मैच व्हेन आई अप्रोच्ड हिम. अब पुराने ज़माने में लोग सड़क के ऊपर, लोग ओपन एरियाज में, चाहे वो स्टेज ना भी हो, पीपल यूज टू स्टैंड एंड वॉच रेसलिंग मैचेस. यू मस्ट हैव सीन ओल्ड हिंदी मूवीज वेयर पीपल make a circle and they watch any show, any antics of an animal or a human, and then they pay the money to those presenters. They pay them. So Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. He was about 25. You have to notice that the narrator is 15 and Anil was 10 years older, 25. A tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind, and simple enough for my purpose. तो उसको देखते ही उसको लगा ये इजी गोइंग इंसान है, खुश से रहने वाला, काइंड है, सिंपल है, तो आई कैन बिफूल हिम. तो ये टारगेट बना लेता है अनिल को. I hadn't had much luck of late and thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence. He said I was very unlucky recently, though I wasn't very rich, I wasn't doing good as a thief. So I thought maybe I can win his confidence. I don't look like, maybe he won't be able to judge that I'm a thief actually. So he thought he must try. You look a bit of wrestler yourself, I said. A little flattery helps in making friends. अब वो कहते हैं कि थोड़ी सी फ्लैटरी कर दो तो पीपल can become your friends easily. It is easy to befriend people. So how does he use flattery? He calls Anil a wrestler, and just now he has told that he was a lean fellow. वो पतला सा आदमी था. Wrestlers are well built, heavy structures in body, but he was a lean fellow. तो उसको वो wrestler कहता है. And look at the answer. Anil says, "So do you," he replied, which put me off for a moment because at that time I was rather thin. At that time, narrator was also very thin. And Anil says, you also look like a wrestler. If I look like a wrestler, you also look like a wrestler. Both are very thin and both are calling each other wrestlers. So the answer given by Anil was a very witty answer. It was full of wit and wisdom. And that is why the narrator says that I was put off for a moment. मैं एक मिनट के लिए चुप हो गया, हार गया. Well, I said modestly. तो उसने बड़ा शराफत से और मैंने बहुत ही सबमिशन से हम्बल होकर पूछा, बहुत ही नम्रता से पूछा, आई डू रेसल अ बिट। उसने बोला कि मैं रेसल करता हूँ। अब ये झूठ था, इट वॉज अ लाई। व्हाट्स योर नेम? हरी सिंह। अब नरेटर यहाँ पे अपना नाम, इन दिस चैप्टर ही विल बी यूजिंग हिज नेम एज हरी सिंह, एंड ही टेल्स अ लाई, और वो झूठ बोलता है। आई टुक अ न्यू नेम एवरी मंथ दैट kept me ahead of the police and my former employers. So every month he used to go and get a new job somewhere, and every month he used to commit a theft, चोरी करता था, and every month police would be after him. So every month he used to change his name to be safe from the catch of police or former or previous employers. After this introduction, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers who were grunting, lifting, and throwing each other about. I didn't have much to say. Anil walked away, and I followed casually. So, over here, what do you come to know? Did he tell the truth that I do wrestle a bit? No, that was a lie, and he used to tell lies so that people couldn't catch him. Anyways, because he told a white lie that he was a wrestler, too, Anil knew more than he could have known about wrestling, and still he kept on following Anil. Hello again, he said. So he's also a friendly man. I gave him my most appealing smile. He gave him a very impressive smile. I want to work for you, I said, but I can't pay you. And quickly he comes to the point. He says, I want to work for you. But Anil tells him very honestly, he's a good natured man, that I cannot pay you. I hope you're liking my classes. Thanks for being with me at eClasses with Shalini ma'am. I request you all to please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. If you do that, your gesture is going to really motivate me so that I create more such videos and bring more useful content for you. Thank you so much. I thought over that for a minute. Perhaps I had misjudged my man. Uh, just now he has told us that he was very experienced, but just now he has committed two, three mistakes. We can see he told a lie about wrestling and he is caught. He calls Anil a wrestler and he is caught. He says that he has been thinking that Anil is going to keep him. He is going to give him a job, but he is a very poor man himself. So three mistakes done, and now he accepts I misjudged my man. So he's not an experienced thief. Can you feed me? Can you cook? I can cook. I lied again. Another. He's a bundle of lies. He keeps on telling lies. जो लोग इतना झूठ बोलते हैं उन्हें इंग्लिश में बोलते हैं to be a bundle of lies. BUNDLE. So he is a bundle of lies. If you can cook, then maybe I can feed you. He took me to his room over the Jamna sweet shop and told me I could sleep on the balcony. But the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible because Anil gave it to a stray dog and told me to be off. But I just hung around, smiling in my most appealing way, and he couldn't help laughing. So this paragraph shows that he still, अब अनिल को पता है कि वो लड़का उसके इतने काम का नहीं है, बट ये अनिल की काइंडनेस है, हिज पेशेंस, कि वो उसको घर ले आता है, ही टेल्स हिम ओके यू कुक, और जो वो खाना बनाता है इट वाज पैथेटिक, इट वाज टेरिबल, बेकार था, दैट ही गिव्स इट टू द स्ट्रे डॉग. And even then, he doesn't scold him, he doesn't complain, he's not even paying him, but even then he doesn't expect. So he's just good and he's just good. So Hari keeps on smiling in a very pleasant way, and in return Anil keeps on laughing. So this paragraph shows Anil was very patient. बहुत patience थी उसमें, kind था, helpful था, amiable, friendly था. और दूसरी तरफ Hari is calculative, he is cautious, he has lack of experience, and all this is visible that he is just a child, he's just a child thief. It was quite pleasant working for Anil. अब वो अनिल के लिए काम करने लग गया. Sorry. Later he patted me on the head and said never mind, he would teach me to cook. अब वो देखो, पहले तो उसको वो लेके आया, वो किसी उसके काम का नहीं है, फिर भी he says he would teach him to cook, number 1. He also taught me to write my name, number 2, and said he would teach me soon to teach me to write sentences, number 3, and to add numbers, number 4. I was grateful. So all this was a benefit. He would learn so much over there. Otherwise, who would teach a thief child so much? I knew that once I could write like an educated man, there would be no limit to what I could achieve. This shows his yearning for education. Now, these are those people, those children who want to get educated, but somehow life doesn't give them a chance, life doesn't give them an opportunity to get educated. It was quite pleasant working for Anil. I made the tea in the morning and then I would take my time buying the daily day's supplies, usually making a profit of a rupee a day. I think he knew that I made a little money this way, but he did not seem to mind. अब अनिल के लिए काम करके उसको मज़ा आ रहा था. वो थोड़ी बहुत चाय बना देता था एंड देन ही वुड टेक ऑल ऑफ हिज टाइम इन बाइंग डे सप्लाईज. कभी कुछ ना कुछ बाजार से ले आता था और उसमें ही यूज टू कीप सम मनी, चेंज, प्रॉफिट बना लेता था, थोड़े पैसे छुपा लेता था. ऑफ अ रुपी अ डे, एंड रुपी अ डे उन दिनों में बहुत ज़्यादा अमाउंट होता था. फिर भी अनिल को पता था कि उसको उसको ये सब मालूम था कि वो ऐसे काम करता था. आई थिंक ही न्यू आई मेड अ लिटिल मनी दिस वे, बट ही डिड नॉट सीम टू माइंड. वो छोटी मोटी बातों की अनिल डिड नॉट बॉदर अबाउट सच थिंग्स. नाउ व्हाई वाज इट प्लेजेंट फॉर हिम टू वर्क फॉर अनिल? आई हैव गिवन यू द पॉइंट्स. What were his expectations? Expectations were that he would get educated in future. And where were they met? Were these expectations met? No, they were not met, but yes, little bit of them were met, and he was expecting that he would be able to meet all his expectations if he continues to stay there. We need to note that Anil is wise, alert, and still he's very kind. Whatever happens, he just remains good. Children, here's a quick recap of what all you've done till now. I'm going to end the first phase of this entire module over here. Two questions for you. What mistakes does Hari commit in his first meeting with Anil? And where do they meet for the first time? What does Hari ask for? Let's meet again in the second phase where we continue reading the chapter and we proceed.